Well, Notts, as we just reflected before I press record, it must have been really nice to be back at the weekend. I think slightly unexpected to get yourself out on the pitch and make that comeback. How was it? Jubilation? Was it relief? What was it like to be back involved after so long?
It was a bit of everything, wasn't it? It's been a long time coming. It's been tough. I'd say 6-7 months since the injury, but obviously my last game was 9 months ago, so it's been a long time. And the emotions that was going through me, I don't know if you could see it, but like I really felt really emotional going back out there. It was a nice feeling. Obviously the result wasn't what we wanted, but for me personally, like it was just something that I struggled to see a couple of months ago, and it was getting a bit hard. But I'm just so thankful that I just kept on going with the process, and all the people that were around me to help me, all the messages, all the support from other players that I've spoke to about injuries similar to mine. Yeah, it was an amazing feeling to be back out there. I really enjoyed it.
Just tell us about the actual injury itself, because as I understand it, there was a sort of bit of uncertainty, and then did you need to have something done, did you not need to have something done, rather than sometimes you have the injury, you begin the recovery on day one.
Yeah. Well, there's still uncertainty about it anyway, because I really don't know how I've done it. It started to give me a bit of problem during the second week of pre-season. Felt it on the beach day when we was running that day the most. It didn't hurt too much. I just knew there was a problem, and we eventually got a scan on it, and there was a 4 centimetre tear on one of my tendons on my foot, which was one of the important ones. I didn't think it was going to be a really long injury, but we tried to rehab it without surgery and ended up wasting 8 to 10 weeks or whatever it was. It felt good, but the tear never closed up, so we had to go the surgical route and kind of put us back, but it's basically got the job done now, so I'm just happy to be back doing what I love the most and back in training and obviously featuring the game now. So.
Psychologically, is that harder? Would it be easier if it was you've done this and the timeout is this long and the recovery begins today, rather than I've done 8 to 10 weeks rehabbing and then it's not cleared the problem up and you get that setback?
Yeah, it's quite a rare injury from what I'm hearing as well, like the place where it is, and the way the tear was, I think it was longitudinal on my tendon. It's quite a rare one, so there wasn't much advice I could get about it. It was kind of guesswork what we was doing, so obviously I'd never had surgery before in the past, so I was trying to avoid that route. It was mainly my decision. I was getting advice from other people, but it was ultimately down to me. So it was mainly my fault, to be fair, if anything, why it's taken so long. But yeah, I'm just glad we basically got there in the end. Like, I'm back now training. I'm feeling really good. I'm just happy to be back out there now.
And obviously you got a few minutes under your belt and won a penalty, and we're kind of at the fore. How ready do you feel to play a more significant role time-wise than that? You know, is there a timetable for starting a game, for example?
No, for me it's literally every day is like a progressive day now. It's just I still keep doing the same things, trying to get stronger. I'm not where I want to be exactly right now, but I'm strong enough to compete and train, and if called upon, I can play games of football. I don't know what my reactions are going to be like. We've just got to like kind of monitor it and see how I feel each day. I'm just so happy just to be back doing it, to be honest. Like, I feel strong enough to do it, so we'll just keep pushing every single day and just keep working at it.
And particularly in your position, there's been a lot of players missing. There's still quite a few players not available in that position. How important is it to you that you can come back and have an influence either on the match pitch or the training pitch and try and help the club out of a bit of a sticky situation at the minute? Yeah,
we are in a bit of a sticky situation at the moment. I don't feel like we've done badly this season. I think the lads have done really well. I think performances have been really good in most games, but the league doesn't lie, and we are where we are, and we've done so well in the cup competitions as well. I feel like me coming back will add a bit of experience, and you know, in that area. But I've tried to do my part. Obviously off the field with some of the young lads, a bit of advice here and there and stuff like that. But yeah, I think training, obviously with numbers coming back, it makes it more competitive for other people to ramp up their training levels and stuff like that. And hopefully, whenever I do play, whatever part I can play in anyway, I hope that I can obviously bring that experience and that calmness back into the team, and just hopefully like we can just kick on. I think, like I said, I think we have done well this season already, but I just think once we get a few more bodies back, we'll really start ramping it up.
Let's talk about the FA Cup then.
Yep.
Is there a bit of a buzz in that changing room about this replay, which of course has been postponed once, and now that means that you know what you'll have in the fourth round if you get through? It'll be a televised tie here against Leeds United. Does that make a difference? Is that another little incentive to win the game?
Oh yeah, the incentives are massive, and especially for a club like ours, it's huge for our players. It's huge for me as well. Like, just I've never been involved in an FA Cup third round tie before. So some of these young lads, it's going to be a really big thing for them. But the incentives are huge. There is a real buzz about the place, and so there should be. It's one to look forward to. I think we'll give everything. I know the lads are definitely going to give everything. We've got a training day today to set up for tomorrow. It's going to be a tough game. We already know that because we played them once and it was a tough game in that one. But yeah, there's a real buzz, and that incentive of the game on Saturday as well. It's massive for it to be on TV. It's a huge thing for the club, and hopefully we can just get the job done tomorrow.
To have had the career that you've had already and not played in an FA Cup third round tie, I suppose reflects that you've played at all kinds of different levels, but do you still feel that same level of excitement that it's come to you relatively late in your career, this opportunity?
Oh yeah, like, honestly, I take nothing for granted, and I just feel lucky and privileged to be doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Honestly, like, even at my age and how many games I've played at all these different levels, I get excited for every single game. I love the game. Like, I love playing games. I love playing competitive football. So I mean, these games are even bigger for me, obviously, to be involved in. That's if I am involved, but even if I'm not involved, it's still massive for the club, and you want to see the lads do well, and you want the club to do well. So it's massive for us, and yeah, I just hope tomorrow is going to be a good day for us. I think the lads have deserved it. Really put shift in all year. It would just be nice to get something good from the game, and something to look forward to in the weekend.
Already beaten National League opposition in Barnet in round 2 and played Boreham Wood away in the first game.
Yeah.
John Coleman and Jimmy Bell have spoken quite openly about the fact that they've been on the other side of this equation. They've been the non-league team trying to knock out a football league team. Is that kind of thing what makes the FA Cup different and makes it memorable and makes neutrals go, I'll take an interest in this game of football that I actually don't have a horse in the race?
Yeah, it definitely does. The competition, it always brings shocks and stuff like that. It's like teams, the lower league teams, there's less pressure on them in the game, you'd say, normally, and they always seem to raise their levels, and we've got to be aware of that. Obviously, we should be the favourites, obviously being at home and being the League One team, but we know it's going to be a tough game, and every man out there tomorrow is going to have to put a full shift in to make sure the job gets done. Yeah, it is the magic of the cup, isn't it? So, but that's something we look forward to. We take it as it is, and hopefully we get the win.
And just as far as that is concerned, the size of Accrington and the reputation and the stature, the league you're playing in, you're very often the underdog going into games. Very often those neutrals might be sort of rooting for Accrington Stanley. There'll be a lot of armchair Boreham Wood fans, won't there, for this FA Cup game? Is that just something you've got to deal with?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like you said, we are normally the underdogs when we go into games, but being the favourites, it'll be a little bit different, obviously, but I think that's only a positive. I think we need to go out there and impose ourselves out there, being the home team as well, League One team. I think we've really got to go out there and take the game to them, and I'm sure we will do. You can see the buzz around the place already this week. It's a massive game, obviously, for both clubs, and obviously I know the lads now really want to get through to the next round, so hopefully we get that done tomorrow. And
just on the fans, a couple of hundred of them at Barnsley the other day, and you could hear them over the Barnsley supporters for long periods of the game, even in the midst of a performance that obviously wasn't the one that anybody wanted. Yeah. To have a home crowd here and have the opportunity to reward them with an FA Cup fourth round tie, how much of a sort of motivation for you guys is that? Yeah,
it would be amazing for the club. The fans have been amazing. They always are. In the 3 seasons that I've been here, they've been amazing. Even in small numbers, you can hear them wherever they go. They always make their noise, and they're always behind the boys no matter what. It would really be nice to really reward them with a nice tie in the next round. And obviously it'd be great for the club to financially and stuff like that to be rewarded and progress to the next round. But yeah, they've been fantastic all year, definitely.